It's Christmas time, joy is in the air, everyone's at home with their families, decorating the tree and making hot cocoa. But Batman spends another night alone. Batman is the perfect superhero for the Christmas season. Now that might come as a shock to most people. Isn't Batman the dude who spends his nights putting muggers in comas? Well, yeah. Isn't that the guy who dresses up as a bat in order to strike fear in the hearts of criminals? Yep. So what the fuck are you talking about? Well, hear me out. Batman fits perfectly with the holiday season for several big reasons. Not only because this daunting black figure looks fucking incredible surrounded by snow and colorful lights. It's not only because it's funny to hear Robin describe the film A Wonderful Life to Batman. It's because Christmas is about family, and Batman's struggle with the idea of family is what makes him such a compelling force for a Christmas story. Should he embrace the ideas of family even though he's afraid of loss? Or should he push away family and continue down his path of vengeful darkness? A Christmas with the Joker. I love Batman the animated series so much. It presented me with themes of identity, family, forgiveness, grief, and the darkest inner struggles we all face. Batman the animated series isn't afraid to push the boundary, to go beyond what is expected of a kid's cartoon. It isn't afraid to present us with dark themes, and that's what makes it so powerful. An episode I watched on repeat as a child besides Feed a Clay, Heart of Ice, The Last Laugh, and See No Evil was A Christmas with Joker. Sure, A Christmas with Joker doesn't have as much to say as other episodes do, but what it does say is enough. The episode follows Batman and Robin as they go through Joker's Christmas-themed trials in order to save the hostages. It has a dope-ass intro where the Joker uses a rocket tree to escape from Arkham. It's simply put just a fun-ass holiday special. But your standard Batman adventure isn't what we're here to talk about today. The entire episode, Robin tries to convince Batman to spend Christmas at home and relax. He wants to watch It's a Wonderful Life like every other normal family.
Even scum spend the holidays with their families.
But Batman would rather spend the holiday beating his least favorite clown. Every time Robin mentions Christmas, Batman just ignores him. Kinda like another old rich man I could think of. He's directly shown that even Gotham has Christmas spirit, and yet he still won't budge. Robin finally convinces him to watch the goddamn movie, but of course the clown prince of crime is at it again. And after some fun cartoon action later, they finally save the hostages and stop the clown prince. And Batman finally watches It's a Wonderful Life, finally willing to spend Christmas with his family. It's a simple story, but I think it's pretty damn touching. Batman, the old Scrooge of Gotham, decides to spend his Christmas with the ones closest to him, and even enjoys It's a Wonderful Life. But the beauty of Batman is he's able to tell multiple kinds of stories. Ones that fill you with Christmas cheer, and ones that make you feel sad and empty. Batman Returns gets a lot of shit, some of it well deserved, some of it not. A lot of people go as far as to say it's a lot worse than the first Batman movie, and you know what guys, it's actually better. Batman Returns is a lot darker than Batman 89. It's extremely grim, and that tone of darkness creates a compelling Christmas-themed story. Christmas stories are able to go through more serious lengths. Some make you think, and some make you scared. And Batman Returns does both. My favorite thing about this movie is the theme of isolation. Batman spends his holidays alone fighting crime. His entire existence is loneliness. Even his house gives you a sense of isolation. His mansion feels cold and unwelcoming. Even though he'll always have Alfred by his side, he still feels alone. Catwoman is walked on by the asshole businessman she sucks up to, and she spends Christmas all alone with her cats. And the Penguin, well, the Penguin is the most tragic. He spends Christmas alone in the dark emptiness of the sewers. The people who are supposed to love him the most, the ones who are supposed to love him unconditionally, cast him away. This is the perfect setup for our main trio of characters. The film chooses to explore these intense themes in a Christmas story. Hell, this movie was marketed towards kids, and that's just ballsy. Ballsy to tell a story like this, ballsy to present a younger audience with these themes, and I love it. Now with that setup, with the overlaying theme of isolation and loneliness, the point of the film is to show us the different ways these characters react to this pain. How do they cope with loneliness? Batman spends his nights fighting crime. Catwoman gets murdered, comes back to life, and abuses her powers in order to get revenge on those who've wronged her. And Penguin just tries to regain love, to regain his place in society. And when he's rejected that luxury, he wants to make every other child suffer as he did. He wants to steal away the happiness from these children that he never had. And by the end of the story, our characters who try to change, who try to break the destructive nature of their lives, can attempt to find happiness again. But those who refuse to change, those who can't change, will forever suffer. All of these characters' destructive habits get the best of them. Bruce and Selina almost find happiness in each other, but the lives they choose won't allow that luxury. Batman will always be Batman, and that means hitting women and hitting Penguin-human hybrids. His obligation to be Batman leaves him alone in the end. Penguin dies and Catwoman fakes her death, all because she won't be able to let go of her goals of revenge. The film ends with Bruce and Selina accepting their darkness and ending up alone again, and the Penguin will forever be tied to the horrible fate of his childhood. And that's how the movie ends. And that is magnificent. Sure, this movie ain't perfect, but I'm sure Tim Burton could have made a great third movie if he was given the chance. But unfortunately, Little Timmy and Little Timmy's mom didn't enjoy the darker Batman, and the franchise was forever ruined after that. But I'm still thankful a Batman story like this was ever told to begin with, and I'm even more thankful it was told in the medium of film. Hey, do you like Arkham? The Arkham series is one of my favorite Batman adaptations of all time. I could talk in great detail about all these games, and let's be real, I plan on it. But one that always stuck out to me, one that I would go as far as to call my favorite, is Batman Arkham Origins gets a lot of shit from the fanbase. Some call it a reskin of City, some think the Joker reveal is lame, and I couldn't disagree more. This is my favorite Batman and Joker story. This game showed me the dynamic between them better than any film ever did. This game would make the perfect Batman movie, but that's not what we're talking about today. The point of this video is to discuss Batman and goddamn Christmas. I'm not here to talk about all this game has to offer right now. I can assure you I will someday, but that day will have to wait. For now, let's discuss Batman Arkham Origins. It's the perfect Christmas story, and it's my favorite Christmas game. This game takes place early in Batman's career. He's still new to the whole crime fighting gig. His rogues gallery is small and he's still learning to balance Batman with Bruce Wayne. The entire game, Alfred wants Batman to stay home for Christmas. He wants him to take a break before his overwhelming anger takes him over. Alfred wants Bruce to take things slow, but he won't listen. He believes he needs to be Batman all the time. He's much more comfortable dressing up as a bat and breaking criminals' bones than he is spending Christmas around the fire with his family, his only family. The entire game, Batman works alone. He takes on an entire team of assassins alone. He works against the police, he even fights them. Batman is mean, he's relentless. He doesn't stop even when the job is done. Batman oversteps the boundary. For God's sake, he drops a man off a building in the first hour. Batman pushes everyone away. He continues to let his anger build inside of him. This self-destructive and dangerous anger. He treats Alfred like shit when all he's trying to do is help. He doesn't realize what he's doing wrong until...
Don't add me to the weight you carry.
Bruce almost loses a man who raised him, and for what? So he can take down a clown and a bunch of assassins? This moment, this goddamn moment where he almost loses everything, shows him the anger he's been building. It shows him going down this path leads to pain. And you know what? He changes. Instead of brushing Alfred off, he works with him. Instead of fighting the police, he joins forces with Gordon, and he realizes that trust is all he needed to stop the Joker. All he needed to do was open up and let in his allies. Cause the only thing Bruce has that the Joker doesn't is family. The Joker and Batman are one and the same. The city of Gotham has changed both of them, but what matters is how they react. Joker chooses anger and violence, but Bruce learns to better himself. He learned that to be the Batman he wants to be, he first needs to be the man he always needed to be.